Welcome back. What am I doing tonight? Well, I've got this 2004 Montero here with 266,000 miles. And I noticed the last time that I was doing some work on it, I cleaned the throttle body and it was disgusting. And the reason that it was disgusting is because the PCV valve was all clogged up. So I cleaned both of those, but I noticed that the intake plenum was just caked in oil residue from that PCV valve being clogged up. So I figured tonight I would try using Seafoam spray. I've had this can forever. It's just been sitting on the shelf. I don't even remember what vehicle I bought it for, but I never ended up using it. So this is the top engine cleaner can, which comes with like this special hose that you can insert in the air intake pipe. And yeah, I've never used it, but the idea is that it's going to be able to clean all this stuff in here. You can see it says for GDI engines, which this is not. It'll help with that. And combustion chamber, intake valve deposits. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. I've used other Seafoam products before, like the ones you pour in the gas tank, but I've never used this. So it'll be interesting. I wanna see what kind of giant Batman smoke screen this thing makes while it's being burned off. So what we're gonna do is we're going to disconnect the air intake tube just in front of where the throttle body is. So you've got that bolt right there. I'm just gonna loosen that and that'll allow me to pop this hose off. All right, so with that intake hose disconnected, you can see there's the throttle body plate. And the instructions say to put the spray nozzle of the system 1/4 of an inch away from that plate. So the way it's gonna go in is going to be like that. So what I've done is I've adjusted this little hook and hose that come with the Seafoam can so that there's barely any hose coming out of the hook just because of the position of where we're hooking this thing in. It's going to be super close to the throttle body plate that way, 1/4 of an inch like they say. So I'm going to hook that in right there and I'm going to reconnect the main tube. Okay, so next the instructions say that your vehicle needs to be warmed up. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now, is getting it warmed up. And you want to shut off all accessories. So I've got AC, radio, fans, everything off. And we're just going to get this up to operating temperature, which it'll be here any second now. And you want to be 500 to 1,000 RPMs above your normal operating idle. So my normal idle is like 1,000. So I went ahead and took a piece of wood, pinned it in between the seat, and I just moved the seat forward, the power seat forward, until it held the accelerator at 2,000 RPMs. So we're holding it about 1,000 RPMs higher than the normal idle speed. And now I'm gonna go to the engine bay and I'm gonna start spraying in the Seafoam cleaner. And I moved the vehicle outside because it's probably gonna put out a lot of smoke. It took about 7 minutes for the whole can to go through the system. Now it's just to shut off the car and let it heat soak. Okay, so that was really surprising. It took 7.5 minutes for the can to be empty. That was pretty amazing. The hardest part was just holding it down that whole time. So yeah, we sprayed the entire contents of the can in there, and it did start to put out a pretty good amount of white smoke as it was doing it towards like the last 2 minutes. Not a ton, I was expecting more, but yeah, some white smoke coming out of the tailpipe. And now that the can is empty, I went in, shut off the car, and I'm going to remove the tube, reattach the hose, and tighten it down. And then you got to let the engine heat soak for 5 to 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna go on the longer end. I'm gonna go with 15 minutes. All right, it has been heat soaking for 15 minutes, so I'm gonna start it up, and apparently now is when it's supposed to get really smoky. So you're supposed to let it heat soak and start it up and go for a spirited road test to help clear out all those deposits. Here we go. Oh yeah, now it's going. All right, let's do this road test. Okay, it's the next day, back from the road test and driving it around a little bit. Let's open this up and take a look inside. All right, so I've got you inside of the throttle body right now, and as you can see back there, it's still super gunky, as I expected, deeper inside the intake manifold. So I just had this off and we were looking back in here. And so what do I think now that I've done the job and had experience looking before and after inside the intake manifold? Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. I didn't expect Seafoam to be like this miracle thing where to clean out all of the deposits inside the entire intake system. I still think manually cleaning is going to always be superior, but of course it's more work. But at the end of the day, I kind of just did this for fun. I had that can on my shelf for like 5 years or something. I was like, I might as well use it because I know this is a pretty gunked up intake. But ultimately, you know, the problem stemmed from the PCV valve getting clogged. So replacing that was a good thing. And ultimately, I don't really think this is a big deal. I'm not making this video to like scare you guys. Like, this is a non-direct injection vehicle. I know that the back of the intake valves, they're gonna be cleaned because if you're using good quality gas, and especially if you're using fuel additives regularly, you're gonna be cleaning your injectors, your fuel rail, the back of the intake valves. Everything's gonna be fine, and there's always gonna be like some buildup and gunk in here just through the EGR system and the PCV. So it is what it is. I wouldn't stress about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Basically, if you're ever doing a throttle body cleaning, then you can spray some cleaner in here, take like a long screwdriver and a rag and get as much of it as you can. If you're ever taking the intake off to do your spark plugs, well then if you want to, you can clean this too. But again, if you don't, it's not really something to worry about. It's not like a diesel where it's gonna build up so much soot that it's gonna clog things up. Just every now and then, check your PCV valve to make sure that it is free and clear. And I think that's the moral of the story. So would I buy the Seafoam upper intake cleaner again? Probably not. It's not like any miracle product or anything like that. So yeah, just figured I'd do this for fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you in the next one.